There are islands with an area of less than the Vatican City, sometimes claimed by 3 or even more countries.
In a world where everything seems interconnected and accessible, there are still places with no return. Places so isolated and extreme that they challenge not only our ability to reach them, but also to survive in them. Welcome to the most inaccessible and remote corners of the planet, where nature reigns supreme and humanity scarcely dares to venture. Today, we will explore 20 of the most inhospitable and isolated places on Earth, from the depths of the ocean to mountains so high that there's barely enough oxygen to breathe. We'll uncover islands inhabited by deadly creatures, impenetrable valleys that preserve ancient cultures, and extreme landscapes where life seems impossible. These places are not only unreachable, but also defy any chance of return. Each destination tells a story of resilience, mystery, and the incredible power of nature. Are you ready for this journey? Join us as we delve into territories where returning is not guaranteed and discover why these corners of the world remain as enigmatic as they are deadly. Our journey begins now. Number 20. Mariana Trench, Pacific Ocean. In the Pacific Ocean, the Mariana Trench stands as the deepest known place on Earth. This abyss, with its deepest point at the Challenger Deep, holds secrets we are only beginning to uncover. At more than 11 kilometers deep, the Mariana Trench represents one of the most extreme environments on the planet. Its conditions are so hostile that only a handful of human missions have explored it, revealing a world where life defies all expectations. The Mariana Trench combines mystery and fascination. In this abyss, the pressure is so intense that it equals the weight of 1,000 elephants on an area the size of a credit card. Despite this, life thrives, adapting in unimaginable ways. Creatures inhabiting these depths, such as translucent snailfish and giant amphipods, not only survive, but evolve to withstand the planet's harshest conditions. One of the most famous explorations was conducted in 2012 by filmmaker James Cameron, who descended to the Challenger Deep in a submersible. His findings included otherworldly landscapes and organisms that might offer insights into how life could exist on planets with similar conditions. However, even this remote place has not escaped human impact. Recent explorations have found microplastics in the trench's depths, underscoring how human activity affects even the most inaccessible areas of the planet. The Mariana Trench remains an enigma, a reminder of how much there is yet to explore on our own planet and of life's extraordinary resilience in even the most hostile environments. From the ocean's depths, we now journey to the Arctic, home to the world's largest uninhabited island. Number 19. Devon Island, Canada. In the Canadian Arctic, Devon Island stands as the world's largest uninhabited island. This desolate place, dominated by ice and rock, serves as a natural laboratory for understanding the planet's most extreme environments.
A team from the Canadian Space Agency is simulating a science mission to the Red Planet.
Covering over 55,000 square kilometers, Devon Island is a polar desert where temperatures can plummet below -50 degrees Celsius. Its rocky and barren terrain makes it a terrestrial analog for space missions. Devon Island is one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth, where permanent human settlement has never been achieved. Its icy and desolate landscapes provide no refuge or sufficient sustenance for survival. However, scientists have found a treasure trove of research opportunities on this island. The Horton Crater, a meteorite impact scar on the island's surface, is a key site for NASA. Here, simulations of Mars missions are conducted due to the similarities in terrain and extreme conditions. Teams test space exploration technologies and study how astronauts might adapt to similar conditions on other planets. Although it appears lifeless, Devon Island holds secrets of a greener and more vibrant past. Fossils of ancient forests have been discovered in its ice layers, revealing that this region once had a temperate climate. Today, it stands as a testament to how natural climate change can dramatically transform an ecosystem. The silence and vastness of Devon Island remind us of the extremes of our planet, where even the inhospitable has a purpose. This place teaches us not only about Earth, but also about our ability to explore the unknown. From the cold and barren lands of the Arctic, we now travel to Mozambique, where a sacred mountain hides biodiversity and culture in its heights. Number 18, Mount Namuli, Mozambique. At the heart of Mozambique, Mount Namuli rises as both a natural and cultural sanctuary. Surrounded by dense forests and unique ecosystems, this mountain is also a sacred site for local communities. Standing at 2,419 meters, Mount Namuli is the second highest mountain in Mozambique. Its slopes are a patchwork of life, home to unique species found nowhere else in the world. Mount Namuli is more than just a mountain. It's a symbol of the connection between nature and the human communities that surround it. Its forests, which blanket much of its slopes, are a paradise for biologists. These ecosystems host amphibians, reptiles, and plants that have evolved in isolation, forming a treasure trove of biodiversity that continues to astonish researchers. Yet Namuli's importance isn't limited to its natural wealth. For local communities, this mountain is a sacred place rich in cultural significance. Since ancient times, the region's inhabitants have performed ceremonies on its slopes, honoring their gods and seeking spiritual protection. These traditions have been passed down through generations, making Namuli a cornerstone of cultural identity. However, this paradise faces threats. Deforestation, intensive farming, and pressure from human development endanger its fragile balance. Conservation efforts are crucial to safeguarding both the biodiversity and the cultural heritage linked to the mountain. Mount Namuli exemplifies the harmonious blend of nature and culture. It shows us how remote environments can serve as refuges for life and traditions, and why we must strive to protect them for future generations. From the heights of Mozambique, our journey now takes us to an underground world where nature unveils its grandeur. Number 17, Hang Son Doong Cave, Vietnam. Hidden beneath the jungles of Vietnam, Hang Son Doong is the largest cave in the world. Its immense scale and unique ecosystems make it one of the most extraordinary and remote places on the planet. Discovered in 1991 and fully explored in 2009, this cave boasts dimensions that defy imagination. Its main gallery stretches over 5 kilometers, with ceilings soaring up to 200 meters, tall enough to fit a skyscraper. Hang Son Doong is not just a cave, it's a world of its own. Inside, underground rivers flow alongside stunning formations of stalactites and stalagmites that have developed over millions of years. One of its most remarkable features is the ecosystem within, complete with entire forests growing inside the cave thanks to natural roof collapses that allow sunlight to penetrate. Access to this natural wonder is tightly regulated, with an annual limit on visitors. This restriction preserves its delicate ecosystem and retains its aura of exclusivity and mystery. Visitors have described entering the cave as stepping into a lost world where nature remains in its purest form. In addition to its ecological value, Hang Son Doong holds cultural significance for local communities. For centuries, locals avoided the cave, believing it to be inhabited by spirits. This belief helped keep the cave untouched until its recent rediscovery. Despite its size, much of Hang Son Doong remains unexplored. Researchers believe there are still undiscovered sections, emphasizing how little we truly know about our planet's subterranean world. From a hidden underground world, we now journey to a landscape where heat and chemistry have shaped a terrain that feels like another planet. Number 16, Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. In the Horn of Africa, The Danakil Depression stands as one of the hottest and most extreme places on Earth. Its vibrant colors and geothermal activity create a landscape that seems straight out of an alien planet. With temperatures that can exceed 50 degrees Celsius and elevations more than 100 meters below sea level, this environment is nearly uninhabitable for humans. Yet, it is filled with fascinating natural phenomena. The Danakil Depression is a unique geological spectacle. Volcanic gases and hot springs form surreal landscapes with sulfur lakes and mineral formations glowing in hues of green, yellow, and red. These extreme conditions make it a natural laboratory for scientists studying how life might adapt to hostile environments. In fact, extremophile microorganisms found here offer clues about how life could exist on planets like Mars. Despite its harshness, the region is home to the Afar tribe, who have mastered survival in these adverse conditions. The Afar people extract salt from the vast plains, continuing a tradition that has sustained them for generations. The terrain, while mesmerizing, is also perilous. Volcanic activity and constant tectonic movements have created lava lakes and unstable craters, making the Danakil both breathtaking and unpredictable. The Danakil Depression is a testament to the planet's extreme diversity and a reminder of how life finds a way, even in the harshest conditions. From Ethiopia's searing heat, we now journey to the frigid isolation of remote islands in the Indian Ocean. Number 15. Heard and McDonald Islands, Indian Ocean. In the cold, remote waters of the Indian Ocean, Heard and McDonald Islands are among the most isolated and uninhabited places on Earth. These volcanic islands are unique natural sanctuaries, untouched by human influence. Belonging to Australia, these islands are located more than 4,000 kilometers from the nearest city. Heard Island is home to Big Ben, Australia's only active volcano, whose summit is covered in glaciers. The Heard and McDonald Islands are true natural laboratories. Their icy and volcanic landscapes create a striking contrast, with glaciers extending to the sea and lava flows emerging from Big Ben. Constant volcanic activity reshapes the terrain, which has been sculpted over millions of years by geological forces. These islands also serve as vital refuges for marine wildlife. King penguin colonies, elephant seals, and various seabird species thrive along their coasts. Their isolation has preserved a biodiversity nearly untouched by introduced predators or human pollution. Access to these islands is highly restricted and limited to scientists studying the impacts of climate change on glaciers and marine ecosystems. Extreme weather conditions and the island's remoteness mean only a few have had the privilege to explore these icy paradises. Despite their seclusion, Heard and McDonald Islands remind us of the importance of protecting the pristine corners of Earth, where nature reigns without interference. From the frozen islands of the Indian Ocean, we continue our journey to a remote and unique region in the far north of Australia. Number 14. Cape York, Australia. At the northern tip of Australia, Cape York Peninsula is one of the country's most remote and wild regions. This unique corner blends diverse ecosystems with a rich indigenous culture, offering a glimpse into an almost untouched world. Cape York spans vast stretches of savannas, mangroves, and tropical forests. Its geographic isolation has made it a sanctuary for unique species and indigenous communities that have lived here for thousands of years. Cape York exemplifies nature at its purest. Its tropical forests are home to iconic Australian species like the cassowary and tree kangaroo, while its rivers and mangroves host saltwater crocodiles and an array of fish. Despite its biodiversity, the region has remained largely unspoiled due to its limited accessibility and challenging terrain. The peninsula also serves as a cultural stronghold. Indigenous communities have inhabited Cape York for over 40,000 years, maintaining a deep, spiritual connection to the land. Their traditions, languages, and practices rank among the oldest in the world. Some groups have chosen to live self-sufficiently, preserving their traditional way of life despite modern pressures. However, Cape York faces challenges. Mining, deforestation, and poorly managed tourism threaten its delicate balance. Conservation efforts and the involvement of local communities have been vital in protecting this natural and cultural treasure. Cape York is not just a haven for biodiversity, but also a place where culture and nature coexist, highlighting the importance of preserving both the environment and human traditions. From the warm, vibrant landscapes of Australia, we now travel to the coldest and most isolated corner of the world, Antarctica. Number 13. Villa Las Estrellas, Antarctica. In the frozen continent of Antarctica, Villa Las Estrellas is one of the few permanent human settlements. This remote outpost exemplifies how humanity can adapt to even the most extreme environments. Founded in the 1980s by Chile, Villa Las Estrellas is a small base located on King George Island. With a population ranging between 80 and 150 people, the settlement includes everything needed for daily life, such as a school and a post office. Villa Las Estrellas offers a unique glimpse into life on Antarctica. Its residents, primarily military personnel and their families, face daily challenges, including sub-zero temperatures and extreme winds. Homes are built on stilts to protect them from the ice, and access to the outside world is limited, relying on occasional flights or supply ships. Despite its isolation, Villa Las Estrellas has a surprisingly functional infrastructure. Children attend a small school, there is a basic medical clinic, and even a small church for the community. However, every aspect of life is dictated by environmental conditions, and inhabitants must be ready to evacuate quickly in case of emergencies. Beyond everyday life, Villa Las Estrellas serves a crucial purpose in supporting scientific research in the region. It acts as a base for expeditions studying climate change, marine life, and polar ecosystems. Villa Las Estrellas represents not only human resilience, but also the spirit of international collaboration that defines Antarctic presence. It reminds us that even in the most inhospitable corners of the Earth, humanity can find ways to adapt and thrive. From Antarctica's frozen expanse, our next destination takes us to a Pacific paradise, where life flows at a different pace. Number 12. Palmerston Island, South Pacific Ocean. In the heart of the Pacific, Palmerston Island is a small atoll seemingly frozen in time. With just 60 inhabitants, this isolated island offers a simple life deeply connected to nature. Palmerston is part of the Cook Islands and lies over 3,200 kilometers from New Zealand, its nearest connection. The islanders, descendants of a single British settler, have upheld traditions of self-sufficiency for more than a century. Palmerston Island is a true remote paradise. Its white sandy beaches and crystal clear waters are encircled by a coral reef that shields the island from the open ocean. This pristine environment is both stunning and essential, providing the community with fish and coconuts, their main sources of food and trade. Life on Palmerston is tranquil and communal. With no modern amenities like hospitals or large infrastructure, residents depend on each other for all daily tasks. Supply ships visit infrequently, making self-reliance a necessity. What makes this island particularly unique is its history. All current residents are descendants of William Masters, a British settler who arrived in the 19th century with his 3 wives. The population has since maintained a tight-knit family structure, with their way of life remaining largely unchanged over time. Palmerston Island is a testament to how human communities can adapt and flourish in isolation, preserving a profound connection to their environment. This tiny corner of the Pacific reminds us of the beauty of simplicity and the importance of protecting unique places like this. From the calm waters of the Pacific, we now journey to an island where isolation is more than a condition. It's a way of life. Number 11. North Sentinel Island, India. In the Bay of Bengal, North Sentinel Island is one of the most inaccessible and mysterious places in the world. This small island is home to a tribe that has remained isolated from modern civilization for thousands of years. North Sentinel Island, part of the Andaman Archipelago, is inhabited by the Sentinelese, one of the planet's most isolated tribes. Their rejection of contact with the outside world has made this island a cultural and anthropological enigma. The island is surrounded by an air of mystery and respect. The Sentinelese live in complete isolation, maintaining a way of life that dates back to the Stone Age. Despite numerous attempts by governments and explorers to make contact, the Sentinelese have expressed their desire to remain disconnected, often responding with hostility to intrusions. Indian law prohibits anyone from approaching within 5 kilometers of the island to protect the tribe from external diseases and potential conflict. This extreme isolation has preserved their culture and traditions for millennia, a rarity in today's globalized world. Throughout history, few encounters with the Sentinelese have been recorded, most of which ended poorly. In 2018, a missionary attempting contact was killed, highlighting the risks and the importance of respecting their autonomy. North Sentinel Island is a reminder that there are still places on Earth where time seems to have stopped. It stands as a living testament to human diversity and the determination of some groups to preserve their cultural identity against the tide of modernity. From an island where time stands still, we now travel to the high altitudes of the Andes, where cold and mining take center stage. Number 10. La Rinconada, Peru. Perched high in the Peruvian Andes, La Rinconada is the world's highest permanent settlement. Located over 5,100 meters above sea level, this mining town exemplifies both human resilience and the extreme conditions people can endure to survive. Life in La Rinconada is defined by its altitude. Oxygen levels are halved, temperatures rarely rise above freezing, and the air is harsh and thin. Despite these challenges, the town has grown to house between 30,000 and 50,000 inhabitants, drawn by the lure of gold discovered in the region. The living conditions in La Rinconada are as severe as its environment. The town lacks proper infrastructure to support its fluctuating population. Streets are muddy and unpaved, basic services are scarce, and miners often work under hazardous conditions. Yet for many, the promise of gold represents an opportunity to escape poverty. Mining in La Rinconada operates under a unique system called cachorreo. Miners work unpaid for most of the month, but are allowed to keep any gold they find on specific designated days. While some strike lucky, others face disappointment and dangerous working conditions. La Rinconada stands as a stark example of how the quest for wealth can drive people to inhabit some of the planet's harshest environments. It is a testament to the lengths humans will go to in pursuit of opportunity, despite overwhelming adversity. From the freezing heights of the Andes, our journey now takes us to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, where a small island defies oceanic solitude. Number 9. Tristan da Cunha, South Atlantic Ocean. Deep in the South Atlantic, Tristan da Cunha is one of the most isolated inhabited places on Earth. Thousands of kilometers from the nearest continent, this volcanic island is home to a tight-knit community that thrives in near-complete self-sufficiency. Tristan da Cunha is the most remote inhabited island in the world, located over 2,400 kilometers from South Africa and 3,700 kilometers from South America. Its small population of fewer than 300 people has forged a way of life rooted in shared resources and collective decision-making. Life on Tristan da Cunha is shaped by its isolation. The island is volcanic, surrounded by turbulent seas that make access difficult. The only way to reach it is by boat, a journey that takes more than a week from South Africa. The island's economy revolves around subsistence fishing, small-scale farming, and the sale of rare postage stamps, which are highly sought after by collectors worldwide. Despite the challenges of isolation, the community remains united, with a cooperative spirit ensuring that everyone's needs are met. Tristan da Cunha has a small school, basic medical facilities, and limited satellite internet. However, essential supplies are only delivered a few times a year, emphasizing the islanders' reliance on self-sufficiency. In 1961, the island's population was temporarily evacuated due to a volcanic eruption. However, the residents chose to return, and rebuild their lives, reaffirming their deep connection to their homeland. Tristan da Cunha is a reminder of humanity's ability to adapt to extreme isolation. It highlights the resilience of small communities and the strength of shared purpose in even the most remote corners of the world. From this remote island in the vast ocean, our journey now takes us to a place where ancient forests conceal unimaginable secrets. Number 8. Cape Melville, Australia. In the remote north of Queensland, Cape Melville is a hidden gem that harbors one of the world's most enigmatic and well-preserved ecosystems. This isolated corner of the world is a refugee for species found nowhere else on the planet. Cape Melville is characterized by its vast granite boulder fields, which create an impenetrable and unique landscape. For millions of years, this rocky terrain has acted as a natural barrier, isolating its ecosystem and preserving it in an almost primordial state. This unique isolation has allowed species to evolve in ways unseen anywhere else. In 2013, scientists discovered several previously unknown species in Cape Melville, including the Cape Melville leaf-tailed gecko, perfectly adapted to the rocky environment, and the Cape Melville frog, which lives in rock crevices and has developed unique survival traits. Cape Melville is also home to ancient plant species, some of which have existed since the time of the dinosaurs. These plants form a living window into Earth's prehistoric past, offering scientists valuable insights into evolutionary history. Access to Cape Melville remains limited due to its rugged terrain, which has helped protect its delicate ecosystem. Conservation efforts are crucial to ensuring this extraordinary natural laboratory remains untouched by human interference. Cape Melville is a stunning example of how isolation can create havens of biodiversity. Its ancient rocks and unique species remind us of the planet's evolutionary wonders and the importance of preserving such pristine environments. From the ancient rocks of Australia, we now journey to Venezuela, where a mysterious mountain hides secrets within its sheer cliffs. Number 7. Sariñama Mountain, Venezuela. In the remote region of Guayana, Venezuela, Sariñama Mountain rises as a mysterious tepui. Known for its colossal sinkholes and unique ecosystem, it remains one of the least explored places on Earth. Tepuis are ancient rock formations, but Sariñama stands out for its remarkable features, enormous sinkholes on its flat summit that plunge hundreds of meters deep, each housing isolated ecosystems. Sariñama is so remote that only a handful of expeditions have explored it. Located in one of Venezuela's most inaccessible regions, the mountain's iconic sinkholes reach depths of 350 meters and diameters of up to 350 meters. Inside these sinkholes are ecosystems entirely cut off from the outside world. Scientists have discovered unique plants and animals here, found nowhere else on Earth. Some sinkholes even contain forests at their base, creating microclimates that intrigue researchers. Local legends add to Sariñama's mystique. Indigenous tribes regard the mountain as sacred, believing it to be home to spirits and supernatural forces. These cultural beliefs have played a role in preserving the mountain as few venture near it. Sariñama reminds us of the unexplored wonders of our planet. Its secrets highlight the need to protect such untouched places where nature thrives without human interference. From Venezuela's hidden sinkholes, we journey now to the Tibetan heights, where isolation meets unparalleled beauty. Number 6. Medog County, Tibet. Nestled in southeastern Tibet, Medog County is one of the most remote and challenging regions to reach on Earth. This isolated paradise is surrounded by towering mountains and dense forests, making it both unique and fascinating. For centuries, Medog was cut off from the rest of China due to its rugged geography. Until 2013, the only way to reach the region was by trekking dangerous mountain paths. Medog County defies modernity. Enveloped by some of the world's highest mountains and lush tropical forests, the region is a haven of biodiversity and cultural richness. It is home to the Monpa, an ethnic Tibetan group who have lived here for generations, preserving traditions and a way of life deeply connected to nature. The region's extreme geography has been both a challenge and a blessing. While isolation hindered the development of infrastructure, it also protected Medog's remarkable biodiversity, which includes rare species such as the red panda and the snow leopard. In 2013, a tunnel was completed, finally connecting Medog to the outside world. This has begun to open the area to tourism and trade, but efforts are being made to ensure this progress does not harm its ecosystem or the traditions of its people. Medog is a testament to the beauty of remote places. It offers not only breathtaking natural landscapes, but also a glimpse into a way of life preserved through centuries of isolation. From Tibet's forests and peaks, our journey takes us to a deadly island off the coast of Brazil, where survival is a constant challenge. Number 5. Snake Island, Brazil. Off the coast of Brazil lies Snake Island, Ilha da Queimada Grande, one of the most dangerous and fascinating places on the planet. This small island is the exclusive home of one of the world's deadliest snakes, the golden lancehead viper, Bothrops insularis. Covering just 43 hectares, the island is densely populated with snakes, an estimated 1 to 5 serpents per square meter. Its extreme danger has led to strict prohibitions on access, requiring special authorization for entry. Snake Island feels like a scene from a horror film. Thousands of golden lancehead vipers dominate the island. Their venom, 5 times more potent than that of mainland relatives, can cause paralysis and organ failure within hours. The island was isolated from the mainland over 11,000 years ago due to rising sea levels. Trapped in this environment, the snakes adapted to hunt migratory birds, evolving a highly effective venom to quickly immobilize their prey. Access to the island is heavily restricted by the Brazilian government. Only scientists and authorized personnel can visit, primarily to study its unique ecosystem. Attempts to colonize the island in the past ended in disaster, with tales of families succumbing to snake attacks while they slept. Despite its dangers, Snake Island plays a crucial ecological role. The golden lancehead viper is critically endangered due to its limited habitat, making the island's protection essential to preserving this unique species. Snake Island reminds us that even the most fearsome environments contribute to Earth's natural balance and biodiversity. From an island ruled by snakes, we now travel to the heart of the Amazon, where a valley shelters ancient cultures and untamed wilderness. Number 4. Javari Valley, Amazonia. In the far western Amazon of Brazil, the Javari Valley is a vast and remote region, home to one of the world's highest concentrations of isolated indigenous tribes. This area is a refuge for ancient cultures and breathtaking biodiversity. Spanning over 85,000 square kilometers, the Javari Valley is one of the least explored corners of the Amazon rainforest. Its dense forests and rivers create natural barriers that have kept many tribes shielded from modern civilization. The Javari Valley is a sanctuary for about 16 uncontacted tribes who have lived self-sufficiently for generations, relying entirely on the resources of the forest. These tribes have developed unique ways of life, untouched by modern influences. The isolation not only preserves their cultures, but also protects their health, as they are highly vulnerable to external diseases. For this reason, access to the Javari Valley is tightly regulated by the Brazilian government, with any contact carefully monitored to avoid disruption. This region is also a haven for wildlife, including jaguars, anacondas, pink river dolphins, and hundreds of bird species. However, illegal mining and logging threaten both its human inhabitants and its pristine environment. The Javari Valley teaches us the importance of respecting and protecting nature and the cultures that depend on it. This untouched corner of the Amazon is a testament to the rich cultural and natural heritage still beyond the reach of globalization. From the deep forests of the Amazon, we now journey to the heart of the Pacific, where a small group of islands holds a fascinating story. Number 3. Pitcairn Islands, Pacific Ocean. In the remote Pacific Ocean, the Pitcairn Islands are among the world's most isolated inhabited places. With fewer than 50 residents, this archipelago is known for its rich history and disconnection from the modern world. The Pitcairn Islands comprise 4 islands, of which only one, Pitcairn Island, is inhabited. Its isolation and historical link to the infamous HMS Bounty mutiny have made it a place of intrigue and wonder. Located over 2,000 kilometers from the nearest inhabited island, Pitcairn has remained largely self-reliant since 1790, when mutineers from the HMS Bounty and their Tahitian companions settled there. This small community has persevered for more than 2 centuries, blending European and Polynesian influences into a unique culture. Pitcairn's rugged terrain is lush with tropical vegetation, and the surrounding waters teem with marine life. Residents rely on fishing, farming, and selling rare postage stamps to sustain their livelihood. Living in Pitcairn is not easy. Access to essential services is minimal, and supply ships arrive only a few times a year. Yet the community has thrived, maintaining its independence and traditions. In recent years, Pitcairn has become a leader in conservation, establishing one of the world's largest marine reserves to protect its surrounding ecosystem. The Pitcairn Islands remind us that even in extreme isolation, human resilience and harmony with nature can flourish. From Pitcairn's azure waters and rich history, we head to Alaska, where a remote island meets the raw power of nature. Number 2. Adak, Alaska, United States. At the westernmost edge of Alaska's Aleutian Islands, Adak is one of the most remote inhabited places in the United States. Its harsh climate and desolate landscapes are a testament to the challenges of life at the edge of the world. Adak's significance peaked during World War II, when it served as a strategic military base. Today, the island is sparsely populated, with fewer than 300 residents remaining. Adak's climate is unforgiving, marked by constant winds, freezing temperatures, and near-constant precipitation. Despite these challenges, the island is a haven for wildlife, including seabirds, seals, and sea otters. Introduced caribou roam its tundra, a remnant of the island's military past. The island's rugged beauty is striking, with volcanic peaks, windswept coastlines, and abandoned military installations that now attract adventurous travelers and photographers. Adak is also a rich fishing ground, providing sustenance for its small community. Adak exemplifies how nature reclaims even the most human-altered landscapes. Its blend of history and wilderness makes it a unique reminder of the resilience of both humanity and the natural world. From Alaska's windswept coasts, we now journey to Iceland, where a volcanic island represents the birth of new land. Number 1. Scarcely Island, Iceland. Born in 1963 from a volcanic eruption beneath the North Atlantic, Scarcely Island is one of Earth's youngest landforms. This remote island is a natural laboratory for studying the birth of ecosystems. Designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Scarcely is a pristine environment where access is strictly limited to scientists to ensure that its colonization remains undisturbed. The island emerged after nearly 4 years of volcanic activity, initially spanning 2.7 square kilometers. Over time, erosion from waves and wind has reshaped Scarcely into its current form. The colonization of Scarcely has been a fascinating process. Wind and water carried the first life forms, bacteria, mosses, and lichens, to the island. Birds began nesting there, bringing seeds that sprouted into vegetation. Today, over 60 plant species thrive on Scarcely, along with diverse seabird populations that enrich the soil with their droppings. Scarcely is a living testament to how life begins in a barren landscape. Its restricted access allows scientists to study ecological succession and understand how ecosystems develop in isolation. This volcanic island is not just a symbol of nature's power, but also of humanity's commitment to conservation. It reminds us that even in a rapidly changing world, new places of potential and beauty are constantly being created. From the depths of the Mariana Trench to the icy heights of La Rinconada, our journey has revealed the extremes of Earth's most remote and fascinating places. These destinations have taken us to uninhabitable islands, sacred mountains, hidden caves, and landscapes that defy both logic and survival. Each of these locations tells a unique story of resilience, mystery, and the incredible adaptability of life. They remind us of the beauty and diversity of our planet, as well as the importance of protecting its most fragile and extraordinary corners. Which of these places inspired you the most? Share your thoughts and join us on the next adventure to uncover the wonders of our incredible world.